Is greed the ultimate downfall of humankind? But first, what's up, beautiful people? This your favorite cousin Rich, back again. Hope everybody's having a pleasant day. Now let's get to it. Is greed the ultimate downfall of humankind? I was thinking about this earlier today about how everything's looking now, how the state of the economy, how the state of human interactions, how the state of, relationships, how the state of just humankind, period, is all discombobulated. And I was wondering, like, what is one of the root causes of it? And one thing that popped up in my mind was greed. Having more than you need. We look at all the wars, or we look at, since the beginning of this modern civilization, back in Roman times and Greek times, and Alexander the Great and all these people who were conquerors and all this, they were conquering out of greed, not out of need or necessity, out of greed. We look at corporations nowadays and we're wondering why the economy is the way it is and why there's a lack of money between people and all this stuff that's going on. And the answer is greed. Companies charging more than they need to for items and things that we need on a daily basis because they know it's a necessity. They charge more. Not because they need to charge more because to cover the cost of said product. No, they just charge more because they know it's a need. They are greedy. We look at relationships and why certain people can't come together, or why certain people ruin relationships. Why? They're greedy. They want more than they need. They want more people. They want more attention. They want more, just more than what God has already blessed them with. And this is the downfall of a lot of people. If we look throughout history, especially in the Roman times and the Greek times, when they were ruling the world, and they were spread out, they would go conquer other lands. The reason why they would conquer other lands wasn't because of a need of resources or a necessity. It was out of greed. Think about how many wars they have started out of greed. And now even today, think about how many wars have started out of greed. Imagine, and we're just speaking about spreading countries. We're just talking about going to other lands to conquer. Think about how many lives have been lost. Think about how many innocent people have been, fallen at the hands of this greed. And a lot of times the people who are greedy are not the ones who risk their lives. They're the ones in charge who want more power, want more resources, want more dominance. And I ultimately believe that was the cause of every civilization's downfall. If we look at the Romans, we look at the Greeks, we look at Babylon, Macedonia, we look at all these ancient civilizations, and the downfall has been one thing: greed. We look at even now today in modern America, the downfall of modern America is what? Greed. Why? Right now, we're going to other countries trying to spread our ideologies because we believe everybody should think the same way we do. And that's greedy in a sense, not in the sense of always materialistic greed, but it's a greed of overabundance of thinking that everyone should think like you do. Now, another downfall of America, or another downfall of what's going on now, is corporate greed. People charging more for items, like I said, that are necessity, or in general, charging more for things that shouldn't be charged for. As soon as a natural disaster happens, what happens? Greed. Either consumers are consuming too much, or the producers are producing just enough or overabundance, but charging double, triple than what said item should cost. Why? Because they know it's a necessity, and they know that in harsh times, people will pay what needs to be paid in order to survive. Like I said, with corporations, everybody thinks capitalism is the problem. People think about America and how we do business, and they say capitalism is the issue. Capitalism is the issue. I personally believe in capitalism. I personally love capitalism. I think the issue with capitalism is there is no ethics in the way that we have capitalism here, especially in America. Since there's no ethics governing capitalism, what happens? Greed. There's no regulation, so therefore greed takes place. I wish in America we had some kind of ethical guidelines, that companies and people were forced to regulate, or that were regulating these people in order for capitalism to fully blossom in the way that it could, because honestly, I don't know if greed is something that's innate in humans or if that is just something that we have picked up. In ancient texts, don't they even say that greed is one of the 7 deadly sins? And if you look at it now, it's very prevalent. Even if you look at every gangster movie, you know, I'm a big fan of gangster movies. From Casino, Scarface, Goodfellas, American Gangster, you know, every single gangster movie, I love them.
The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that greed, for lack of a better word, is good.
But if you look at every single gangster movie, the downfall of every main character was what? Greed. They wanted more than they could chew. They wanted more power, more respect, more guns, more drugs, more money, more women, more power, more, you know, more of everything. And this ever relentless greed to have more food on their plate than they could eat led to their demise. Every single case. And even though these are fictional movies, they all stem from something real. Even in real life, when we think about gangsters who, or people who live in the life of criminality, their ultimate downfall was greed, wanting more of what? Power, love, respect, no money, whatever the case may be. They wanted more and more and more than they could handle, or more and more and more than what was needed. And ultimately, that led to everyone's demise, everyone's downfall. To finish this on up, how do we beat greed? Two things: generosity and gratitude. Be grateful for what we have, and in times, be generous. Give more, you know, and leave more. Leave more for the next person, and be grateful for what you have. You know, you need a G to cancel out a G. But yes, being generous and being grateful for what you have, to me, is ultimately the best way to beat out greed, whether it be personally or whether it be as a society. If we're more generous or we're more grateful, then there would be no need for greed. Because like I said, if we look at the birds, we look at every animal out here, and we look at the way God has made this universe, we should not lack for anything. Therefore, there should be no greed. So I believe we brought that upon ourselves. Anyway, just a open thought topic. You know, just free thought. Hope this video can help somebody today. This your favorite cousin. Y'all be safe. Love and blessings.